I've made some purchases. Where do I start? Oh yeah, and I got this thing working. Probably should have used this from the beginning, but that's all right. If you remember a couple months ago, I said I wasn't going to put coilovers in this car because it's I wanted to keep it street legal. So that didn't turn out to plan. This is the finest coilover $600 plus shipping can buy. Will I regret this? Don't know. Along with the coilovers, we have brought some bolts, and some washers. And hopefully we're gonna give this thing a nice healthy amount of front camber. I've also purchased some slip-on spacers to try and help with the rubbing I was having it for when I was getting to full lock where it was just binding. So hopefully these push out the wheels just enough. That with the front camber, I'm hoping will sort out that issue. And lastly, because I wanted to lose horsepower, brought some generic intake piping bits, and we're going to try and make a somewhat cold air intake. Really, I just want more noise out of this thing. And I'm waiting on exhaust parts to show up before I weld. I hope my mic picked that up. So, what was I saying? I want more noise out of it. So, I've got these, and I've got some pipe coming. But the pipe didn't show up for this weekend, and I would like to see how it feels on the juddies, and with a bit more noise coming out of it. And lastly, we also brought... the camera doesn't like it, but we also brought another 2 wheels to match my front pair, because while I'm running this on the street, I'd like to have matching wheels. Also brought a Vertex shift knob. Alrighty, let's get to getting this car up in the air. Alright, let's pull my boot interior apart for the 100th time. Like that speaker's about to fall out. Nice. It'd be quite funny if my shock just falls out onto the floor. Very well could. One very old Bilstein out. Oh yeah. And shock on the floor. Nice. Alrighty, now we just got to get these springs out. Shouldn't be too hard actually. Oh wait. Easy as that. Nice. And here's what we'll be replacing it with. Now, before you flame me too hard for going with the old max feeding rods, I didn't want to spend too much on this car. I don't know, they were cheap. I've watched a few other videos and people seem to say that they're all right for drifting. Like, if they break on me, they've got a warranty. And if I really don't like them, well, then I guess, you know, buy twice, cry twice or something. But I'm really hoping they do what I want them to do. And from what I've heard, they're all right. So I guess we'll find out. Is the budget option worth it? I must say, doing this solo isn't the easiest thing in the world. Alright, got the top nuts on. Now to just get the bottom shock bolt. Okay, so for the rear here, I've just taken off the locking. Alrighty, we have got one side installed. Now let's just go do it on the other side. Alrighty, that is the rear all done. So now we can move on to front of the car. Let the fun begin. Ahaha, fucking dog. Are we listening or are we free spinning? I think we're free spinning. If we come down here, you seeing what I'm seeing? That shit rusted as hell. It's okay, I'll figure this out and update you. Alright, update. I got it off. So I've just got the 3 bolts that hold the hub in out, and I'll show you what I'm doing with these. So the factory bolt that bolts through the shock and holds it to the hub is yay big, but if you buy a longer one, it allows you to shim in between where shock here bolts to the hub, and what that's going to do down the bottom there is push it out. So if you think about it, it's straight up like that when it's bolted flat, and then you add some washers down the bottom there, and it'll push it out and give you a bit more camber. So yeah, we'll see what kind of results we get with that. Don't forget to pop out the brake lines. So I'll get those out, and we'll unbolt the top ones, and it should come out. Right, hammer time. Okay, I might actually have to drop the hub down. Ah, yep, okay, there we go. Okay, somewhat supported. Oh. Alright, Bilstein out. Man, these top hats are wild. That's why I had so much caster and camber even on just struts. Gonna be kind of winging it with the fronts. Height wise, we're probably gonna have to do some back and forth adjusting. So both sides on the front are now done. I guess we will chuck all the wheels back on and see what height it's sitting at and go from there. At full lock. Good on the lead wheel. And it's only scrubbing on the inner because the inner's loose. It's not actually hitting the rail anymore. So good success with that one. Alright, let's chuck these rears on and finally see this thing on matching rims. Wheels are on. I'm hoping there's enough camber in the rear to just avoid rubbing. If not, we're possibly going to have to roll the guard there because there's a little bit of poke. But I'm just stoked to see it all with the same rims, to be honest. Alright, let's get this thing on the ground. May have been a bit conservative. Yeah, we kind of monster trucked it. Whoops. Alright, back up in the air she goes. Good morning. I've just spent the last hour adjusting the rear fitment some more, and I'm happy with it now. We just have one slight issue, and that is that it's sitting on the tyre. So yeah, I'm gonna have to acquire a guard roller because I've already maxed out the factory camber adjustment and it has not done enough. Right, so when I left off, I was having an issue with the rear fitment because it was rubbing. Slightly smaller rear adapters. Hopefully, it's only 5mm difference, but hopefully that gives me enough clearance to push the wheel in just a fraction to clear the guards. If not, I've also brought a cheap guard roller. So hopefully option 1 works, but if we have to, we'll do option 2. So on the left here is what I had on the car, and this is what I'm putting on the car. So I mean, yeah, it really ain't the biggest difference in the world, but there is hopefully enough, you know, difference in height to where this will sink in those wheels. Enough to clear my bloody guards. Let's find out. I believe we've done it. There is now a little gap. I mean, it's not sitting on the tire on that side.
1 second later.
I don't think we're making it out the driveway today. It needs more rolling. I was driving down the street and there's 2 fucking clouds of smoke coming off each back tyre. We're close. But yeah, more rolling required. I'm admitting defeat. I have tried my best to roll these. And I mean, yeah, we got somewhere, but I really don't want to go. I don't want to go any further because I'm going to start ruining the paint, and they don't want to really push out much further anyway. So we're going to have to sacrifice the hot boy fitment, and I'm going to chuck the adjusters back in. Hopefully, I just need like that much height and it won't rub. So let's try this again. Right, it's drivable. This is the next day. I messed around a fair bit more with the height and whatnot, but now it's good. It doesn't rub, as you just saw. I think that's still acceptable. It could be a little lower. I could take out the seat from the adjuster and just have the adjuster there, and I think it still wouldn't rub. But for now, it drives, so I'm happy. The coilovers are actually pretty good for cheap coils. I'd honestly, between the nicer sets I brought for my other cars and these, there isn't a whole lot of difference, so I can't complain there. I did actually, in the rear, I broke off the adjuster, so I might see if I can claim warranty on that. Also, those washers I put in added a tasteful amount of camber. I think I'm sitting at -6 now up the front. It's pretty damn perfect, to be honest. Yeah. And I threw together an intake, which actually has made a noticeable difference to the sound, which is awesome. Doesn't feel like it's making any less power. It also doesn't maybe feel like it's making any more, but it sounds a whole lot cooler, and that's all that really matters. I don't even know if I'll bother with a heat shield. Where it is, like, there's air coming straight through anyway. Like, I've pushed it as close to the light as I can. It'll be fine. With the coilovers now in it, so much easier to get it to step out now, because there's way less grip, I guess. Because there isn't as much travel, I guess, in the rear now, and it's quite stiffer, you can kind of just flick it in a corner and it'll just step out, which is sick. I also wonder if now, because it's a bit stiffer in the rear, if the handbrake will work a bit better, because now there isn't all the slack that it has to, I guess, fight with. Yeah, it might work a bit better. I don't know. We'll find out next drift day, I guess. But I did take it for a drive, and I chucked this camera on a makeshift mount. So I'll play that footage, and then I think that'll be it for this one.